Hello class, welcome to lesson 214. Said strong mathematicians can use estimation to check their products of two-digit numbers. So you can grab out your notebook, your pencil, you can write down today's date, the lesson number, and some estimation in two digits. It's kind of like the title of what we're doing, so let's get started. So I want you to write this down because this is important because it's a little bit different than our other strategy, but I think somewhat similar, but there's a little bit different. So remember, estimation sandwich of a two-digit by two-digit multiplication problem strategy. We know about estimation sandwiches that we want. I have an estimate that's too high, an estimate that's lower than our answer, so then our answer should be somewhere in between those, so that can really help us out. So notice we want you to round both numbers up, then multiply. That'd be an overestimate. Then we want you to round both numbers down, then multiply. That would be a underestimate. And then when you multiply the actual two-digit by two-digit number and answer, your answer should be in between both of your estimates, which makes it an estimation sandwich. So you can pause that down, write down that strategy, and we'll actually put that strategy to work, plus another strategy you're going to see for an even closer estimate that you'll see on the program you might be using today. So box 2 our example, so you can write this down. We're going to do 83 times 57 equals blank. So notice there is an estimate sandwich. So we took 83, and we know 83 right here is between 90 and 80. So I have an overestimate of 90 and an underestimate of 80. We also have 57, so if we round up, it would be 60. If we round down, it would be 50. So we have an overestimate and an underestimate. So when we times 90 times 60, we'll take in our tens. Times 10 is 100, so then 9 times 6 is 54. So our answer should not be bigger than 5,400 because that's an overestimate. On the bottom we have a 10 times a 10 for 100. Now 8 times 5 is 40. So we have 40 groups of 100, which would be 4,000. So we know our answer should be between 5,400 and 4,000. The estimate you might see also, as well as if you want to make one estimate and a closer estimate, which sometimes we struggle with, but I find this would also make it a little bit closer, is we have 80. And why do they choose 80? Because 83 is closer to 80 than it is to 90. The same thing with 57. 57 is closer to 60 than it is to 50. So therefore, 80 times 60, we have a 0 here and a 0 there. Now 8 times 6 is 48. So you have 48 groups of 100. So technically our answer would be even closer to the number of 4,800. So you have a big sandwich where it should be in between, but to get a little bit closer, we want to make sure our answer should be closer because we rounded one up and one down to give us a closer estimate. But now let's see where our answer actually lies, and hopefully it's in between some of these and it's close to those numbers. So we have 50 times 80 and 7 times 80 and 50 times 3 and 7 times 3. So 7 times 3 is 21. And 7 times 80, so we'll take 8 groups of 10, so we take a 10 out to multiply it by. 7 times 8 is 56 groups of 10, so 56 times 10 is 560. Said 50 times 3, we'll take out the factor out the 10, so 3 times 5 is 15. 15 times 10 is 150. And here we have a 0 here and a 0, so it's a 10 and a 10, so it's going to give us 100. So then 8 times 5 is 40. So I have 40 groups of 100 or 400. Now I have to add those up, and it looks like I got a full board, so I'm going to have to write kind of small over here. We got 4,000 plus 560 plus 150 plus 21. When I add up all those numbers, I have a 1. 6 plus 5 is 11, plus 2 is 13, so a 3, carry the 1. 1 plus 5 plus 1 is 7, and a 4. So 4,731. And now we can kind of see how does this work inside all of our estimates. Notice 4,731 is in between these two numbers, which makes me feel good. And if we also look, this one's pretty close to our even closer estimate of 80 times 60, where we rounded up to the closest 10 value of that number. So you can pause this video right now. You can write this information down to help you with your problems today. Same thing before, but you've got less to work with, so we kind of do this on our own. What do we do? Where do we start? Well, we should said we want to estimate first, and then we want to kind of solve. So if you estimate sandwich, we're going to start off with our problem. We're going to put our problem down here first. We got 48 times 74. So we're going to take 48 and we're going to round up, and we're going to round down. So 48 gives me 50 would be high, and 40 would be on the lower side. With 74, so 80 would be the high, and 70 would be the low. So we're looking for our estimate, our perfect estimate. If I would look, I see 48 is closer to 50, so I'm going to use the number 50 right here. And 74 is closer to 70 than 80, so I'm going to use 70. And so our answer should be even closer to 3,500. So we look at our top two numbers. 50 times 80 is 4,000. And 40 times 70 is 2,800. So notice those are a pretty big range. Our estimate that's a little bit closer puts us in the middle. So let's see where our answer falls. So we've got 40 plus 8, and we've got 70 plus 4. I'm going to squeeze this down a little. There we go. A little more room for me. So we have 70 times 40 equals 70 times 8 equals, said 4 times 40 equals, and 4 times 8 equals. So 70 times 40, we got a 10 and a 10. So 10 times 10 is 100. So I have 7 times 4, which would be 28. So I have 28 groups of 100, or 2,800. So I have a 10 raised 70 is 7 times 10. So I'm going to do 7 times 8 is 56. 56 times 10 is 560. I'm going to take the 10 out and multiply it later. 4 times 4 is 16. 16 times 10 is 160. And 4 times 8 is 32. And I'm going to add up all these numbers in a different color because I have a little more space I can see. I got 2, 8, 0, 0, 5, 6, so 560, 160, and 32. So I wish I just had more space. Go figure. We have a 2 here. 6 plus 6 is 12. Plus 3 is 15. Carry the 1. 1 plus 8 is 9. Plus 5 is 14. Plus 1 is 15. And carry the 1 would be 3. So we get an answer of 3,552. And if we look, we'll put this right here, 3,552. We look, that said it's in between those two numbers, which is a good sign. And we even look, it is pretty close to our estimate, our closer estimate. So I want you to pause the video right now and write down this great example to help you out as a guide as you move through today's lesson. So we're going to do the same thing, estimate sandwich, then solve. So we do the same thing. An artist draws a plan for a mosaic pattern that has 23 rows of tiles with 46 tiles in each row. How many tiles does the artist need? So since the word problem, an artist draws a plan for a mosaic pattern that has 23 rows of tiles with 46 tiles in each row. How many tiles does the artist need to buy? So I'm going to estimate. So if I do 23, I'm going to estimate that. Seems like it's closer to 20. And the other one is 46. So that seems like it's closer to 50 up above. So 20 times 50 is my kind of close estimate, I'm guessing. Would give me 1,000, all right? So that's kind of my close estimate, I'm guessing. Now I'm going to do my estimate sandwich, which I did half the work already. So to finish my estimation sandwich, that would be 30 right here and 40 down here. I'm going to times these all out, my big one. So 800. And 1,500. So my answer should be between those, which is also 1,000. So let's do that. We're going to use the parent method way since we have learned it and I haven't used it yet. So let's bust this out. 46 times 23. So 3 times 6 is 18. So 8 goes there. The 1 goes above as you break up the tens. 3 times 4 is 12. Plus the 1 would give us 13. Now that we're moving on to the next row, we'll change color to the 10, so which means I'm going to start right here, which means I put a 0 in my ones. 2 times 6 is 12, so the 2 goes there, the 1 goes up above. 2 times 4 is 8, plus the 1 is 9, so we get an answer of 912. When we add those up, we have 8, 5, 0, 1. So our answer would be, how many tiles does the artist need to buy? Well, we see this fits between these two numbers. So it would be 1,058 tiles. Now in real life, what I would say is that if I'm always planning to buy something and I always would round, I would err on the side of having more than less, because there's nothing worse when you're doing a project and you run out of nails or you run out of wood or you run out of lumber, so you can always return things, than to not have enough when you're starting it. So keep that in mind when you get older and you have to start doing projects. You might want to ensure you have more than what you need. You can always return the unused parts later. That's good life advice for you. So you pause this example down, write this example down, solve it out. If you're not sure you got the same answer, maybe choose the area model as well. Here we go. Now it's your turn. I want you to do 67 times 83. You're going to walk through the whole process. Start with your estimation sandwich, then move to your estimate, and then solve it and see, does my answer fit to the estimate sandwich, and is it closer to my better estimate? So what is 67 times 83? Pause it now. Solve it out. And just one more problem to solve would be 44 times 69. Do the same steps. And a word problem for you to do the same skill, but in a word problem. Brax is going to build 38 flower boxes. The building plan says each box needs 13 nails. How many nails will he need? As always, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to jot them down or share those out. And if you have any strategies that you use to help you, make sure you include those as well to help other people who may be still struggling with this concept. Thank you for another great lesson.